Yoko Ono, a woman I'm sure needs no introduction. Throughout the short 10-year span of John Lennon's solo career, Yoko's most notable contributions to his body of work were the 3 albums she has songwriting credit on, being 1, Sometime in New York City, 2, Double Fantasy, and 3, Milk and Honey. But what people often don't talk about is her contributions to John Lennon's singles, with her providing B-sides to some of his biggest solo hits like Give Peace a Chance, Instant Karma, and Happy Xmas, War is Over. So today, we're going to dive into Yoko Ono's forgotten B-sides, a world of some forgotten gems, and lots of screaming. I hope you enjoy it. On July 4th, 1969, John Lennon released his very first solo effort, Give Peace a Chance. Accompanying this was a very sweet love song called simply Remember Love. It's once again a very simple track with Yoko singing vocals and John playing guitar. Despite her reputation of these loud, screaming vocals, here she's singing in a very soft and very charming voice. Once again, no screaming, no massive high notes, very down-earth, and the same as can be said about John Lennon's guitar. It's very similar to some of his Beatles tracks like Dear Prudence or Julia, just very simple finger-picking, and it almost makes it a little bit Beatles-like, very similar to Julia. Easily one of my favorite Yoko Ono songs for me taking a look at today, and honestly, one of my favorite Yoko Ono songs she ever contributed to a John Lennon song. Just really great stuff, would definitely recommend.
Don't worry, 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 don't worry.
Well, we're going to go a complete detour from the very common, beautiful sounds of Remember Love with Don't Worry Kyoko, Mommy's Only Looking for Her Hand in the Snow. Now, this is the B-side to 1969's Cold Turkey, which is an awesome, chaotic rocker. And this song takes that awesome, chaotic rocker feel of Cold Turkey and just turns it up tenfold. John Lennon and Eric Clapton, yes, that Eric Clapton, play a very bluesy but rocky guitar riff on this song, which kind of continues throughout the song with some variation as it continues. Ringo provides a drum track for the song, as well as just Klaus Vormann, giving us a very solid beat to this song, a very good backing track. Over this, Yoko Ono is wailing Don't Worry Kyoko kind of over and over again, which makes this kind of like a 5-minute fever dream. It's really a song that I have to be in a mood to listen to. It's definitely not bad. It's a very, once again, very chaotic rocker. I really have to be in a good mood to listen to this song. It's not one that I can put on all the time, but if I'm in the mood for it, I definitely will. Now, it's definitely worth briefly mentioning the very tragic backstory behind this song, which resulted in Yoko Ono being separated from her daughter from, I think, a little under 2 decades, or maybe a little bit over. It's a very complicated and long story. I won't get into it in this video, but if you want to see a video on that story, feel free to let me know in the comments below.
When the trees bow down their heads, the wind is passing by. Oh, wind.
Who Has Seen the Wind is the next B-side we're looking at, and this is the B-side to Instant Karma, one of Lennon's biggest hits. Now, this shares a lot of similarities with Remember Love, being a very simple, down-to-earth love song, with Yoko Ono using very similar vocal techniques to Remember Love, being very soft and very gentle. But what to me makes this song better than Remember Love is its more complex backing track, having a really wonderful harpsichord and even a flute part, which I think Yoko might even be playing herself. Honestly, not a whole lot to say here. A lot of my thoughts on this song are very similar to Remember Love. It's just a really wonderful and charming track, one I think all of you should listen to, and maybe a lot of you might quite enjoy. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the enjoyable music so far, because the next few tracks are really something, starting with Why, which is an absolutely miserable cacophony of noise. It's like Don't Worry Kyoko, but it's like if they were playing it on cocaine, which it's entirely possible they were, because we just get this really chaotic guitar part by Lennon on the guitar, with Yoko Ono just screaming and belting Why, along with a lot of other inaudible noises coming out of her throat, just throughout the duration of this song. Really the only thing that makes this somewhat enjoyable to listen to is the really solid backing track by Ringo and Klaus Vormann, which you're going to see is a theme of this video. But really, what really makes this so bad is that this was the B-side to Mother, one of the most powerful and captivating songs that John Lennon ever released, if not maybe one of the most powerful and captivating that any of the Beatles ever released. And this was the B-side to that? Just why? Alright, the next track is Power to the People, which depending on the region you lived in, had two B-sides. The first one is Open Your Box. Now, this is actually banned from the radio in Britain at the time of its release because its lyrics are very sexual. Now, because this is on YouTube, I will not be getting into why the lyrics were banned, but if you want to know, you can just look it up. But the instrumentation is a little bit better than the last track, kind of being a little bit more like Don't Worry Kyoko. It's just a very janky guitar riff that John plays throughout the track that has a little bit slight variation as it goes on. And once again, Ringo and Klaus Vormann bringing their A game on this track, really being the only ones who can hold this song together. It's fine. I mean, it's definitely worse than Don't Worry Kyoko, but it's not as bad as Why. What really makes this song bad is that it's almost 8 minutes long. It's a long one. And yeah, not a great track, but this song seems just absolutely incredible when compared to the US release. Now, the UK release had Open Your Box, which was banned in the UK, so when they did not want this to be banned in America. So instead, they gave us the wonderful Touch Me, which I don't really have a lot to say about this one, just besides it's just simply awful. It's just this unbelievably terrible cacophony of noise, with the guitar just being as obnoxious as the vocals. Klaus and Ringo, despite once again providing some awesome instrumentation, were just not able to save this one. Easily the worst song of the day and one of the worst songs I've heard in a very long time. Would not recommend. Alright, we can take a deep breath now as we get into our very last track of the day. Listen, The Snow is Falling, the B-side to Happy Xmas, War is Over. Now, the last song here is thankfully my favorite song that we're taking a look at today. This is a wonderful festive song, making a great companion to Happy Xmas. Sorry, I almost said Wonderful Christmas Time there. This is not a Paul McCartney video. And once again, we get a very enjoyable guitar part from John Lennon here, as well as a lot of really awesome little festive sounds like sleigh bells and even snow crunching, making the song almost very atmospheric. And Yoko by far gives my favorite vocal delivery of today. Her vocals are very angelic and very graceful, really reminding me of kind of how calm it is and how beautiful it is to watch snow fall. And I think that's what she was going for, and I think she really nailed it here. I'm really happy we were able to round off today with a song as positive as this one is. I really wish that I would have heard this sooner than today, as this is definitely going to be a song I'm going to be putting on from now on as the Christmas season rolls by again. Definitely a new favorite for me. And I really do recommend a lot of you definitely take a look at this one, and I hope it kind of hopes to alter your perspective of Yoko Ono, especially if what you're used to hearing from her is just a bunch of chaotic rock and roll with screams over it. I hope that was my quick look at Yoko Ono's forgotten B-sides. Now, I've always viewed Yoko Ono as a very misunderstood person. A lot of the music that she gets known for is just, once again, just some chaotic rock and roll backing track with her just yelling her head off, which is understandably a lot of people don't enjoy. And I hope that not only is this video able to give us a look into those really chaotic songs, also hopefully spread some awareness to the actual enjoyable music that she's made over the years, as it does surprisingly exist despite that stereotype of her only creating awful music. So I hope I've given you a new insight on Yoko Ono here, maybe giving you some tracks you're going to listen to every now and then. I can assure you I will be. Well, everyone, that was my views on all these songs. Feel free to share me your thoughts on these songs in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, of course, may consider leaving a like, subscribing if you want to see me make more content, and with that, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, keep on juggling.